Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Shred Show Live. I am Josh Pitts, and I have incredibly special guest, Pamela Faulkner, hanging out with us from Simple Nexus. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited. Pam and I were just talking before we went live, and she is brilliant. Number one, she is one of the seasoned veterans in our industry, which we're going to get into. But her and I, as you can see, her backdrop behind her is actually beautiful wood from her property. I am like, me and her, she is one of those. I feel like I'm actually sad, Pam, that we just barely met each other and we're barely talking for the first time, because I just feel like you and I have so much in common, and I'm so excited. And thank you so much for joining us on the Shred Show this morning.
Thanks, Josh. I'm really excited that you asked me to come on. I'm hoping we're going to have a great conversation.
We're going to have a phenomenal conversation because I can, like I said, just your enthusiasm, your energy, your passion, like it's going to be really exciting. But before we get all into that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us live, make sure, as always, you comment #shred, because that means you are here, you're shredding with Pam and I. And if you're joining us on the replay, make sure you comment #hustle, because you're out there, you're hustling, you're getting it done. And then you're coming back and you're learning from the best of the best, like Pam. So Pam, you have been in this industry, and we titled this The Evolution of Mortgage because, like I mentioned, you are a seasoned pro within our industry. You've been doing it for a couple of years. I can say that confidently, just a few years. And you've seen the industry as it's changed, as it's evolved. And to me, that is such a cool and unique experience. Before we get into that, though, tell us a little bit about Pam. Like I mentioned, you live on a beautiful property. You have the beautiful house there. But tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the industry and just why you've been here for so long.
Yeah, so as you see in the backdrop, my husband built this house 18 years ago, and it is really like a pioneer log cabin-ish type thing. And we live on a farm. My husband is a farmer. I am in software, so you can see complete different spectrums of the world, but we make it work, and he loves that. You talk about how long I've been in the industry. I've been in the industry a long time. I started 1985. Wow. Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I always wanted to be one of those people. I can remember when I am there.
I say you literally are there. Like you can be like, yep, I remember when we did this and when fax machines. And you were even telling me, I don't want to date you too much, but you were telling me, because you started out in, I believe underwriting is what you were telling me. I mean, you started out on a typewriter. Like you used, like that was back before even computers were being used.
Yeah, I had an IBM SelectWrite typewriter. And in order to get your documents done, you had to type everything. And back in the day, FHA and VA, it was all carbon documents. So heaven forbid you ever made a mistake. And you type up all of these documents. And you didn't have anything really to calculate your payments with. You used an HP 12C. That's what you calculated your payments with. And then when you drew your closing documents, you actually got them all together. You put them in the typewriter, you typed them, you ran the APR on a Brooks machine. And I know some of the people listening to us today, you know what a Brooks machine is. Trust me, I know you.
She knows she's talking to you. Okay, so I have to ask. So do you remember what interest rates were back then?
Oh, there was one point in time when Black Monday hit in '87, we couldn't close loans here in Arkansas because our usury rate was 14%, and the rates that we were at were 18. So there was a time there where we sat at our desk and couldn't close loans for a few weeks. We just couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh, that's good. See, now we're at interest rates are at all-time lows. I see people advertising 30-year like 2.75 and this and that. And people are complaining like, oh, wait, I can't get a 3%. Yeah, I mean, that's bad. You saw 14, 18% interest. Like, that is insane to me. Yeah. People, stop complaining. You have it good. Just refinance, buy your home, stop complaining. It's crazy to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rates were wild. There were different protocols. FHA back in the day, not everybody could underwrite their own loans.
That's right.
You sometimes have to go for your delegation 2 or 3 times to actually be approved for that. Conventional, sometimes you were not delegated to underwrite conventional. Watching the evolution, let's think about what it used to take for you to, be notified your loan was approved. It was a phone call, and you waited for somebody to call you back, maybe 24 hours, maybe 36 hours. Email wasn't really widely used. And there verifying income, verifying assets. You couldn't take a fax. You had to have that signed paper document. So I look at the evolution, and I see everything that has transpired in this 30 plus years I've been in this. And I can now do everything on my phone. I love this. I love this.
It's amazing to think that's how, I mean, in 30 years may sound like a long time, but it's really not. Like, you think about what's happened 30 years, like the fact that talking about what you were from using, I mean, carbon paper on a typewriter to now being able to do everything on this little device is just insane to me, which we're going to talk about more about that here in just a second. I want to talk about, again, you've had this incredible journey through our industry, and now you landed at SimpleNexus, which you've been there for just over a year, almost 2 years now, year and a half. And, SimpleNexus, it's great when new people are joining the SimpleNexus team because they get to see the culture that is. And I've talked about it before on the show. I've had, Matt and Ben and so many great people from the company, but coming from somebody who's had such incredible experience within the industry, what is your take? How has the culture been to you? That's one thing that a lot of people talk about at SimpleNexus. So for you, what has the culture been like?
I always hear Matt and Ben talk about our motto of Hive, hungry, innovative, vibrant, empathetic. And I think each of those describes a superpower that's here in SimpleNexus. Everybody, they strive to help. They're collaborative. There's no job that's too large or too small for anybody at this company to step in and want to help with. And I think the collaboration speaks volumes for that. Everybody cares. They reach out. They make sure you're doing okay. And if you're struggling, they're there to put the hand out and lift you up. I love it.
And I think that's one of the reasons that you guys in SimpleNexus continue to thrive and continue to grow, is because that mentality is there. Sometimes, especially as a company grows as fast as SimpleNexus has, sometimes you get an unhealthy competition, or people are worried about like, well, wait a minute, I can't share ideas or I can't collaborate because somebody else is going to, Pam and her team might take that. But that is absolutely the furthest thing from the culture at SimpleNexus.
No, that is not the culture. And the thing I like about it, the culture is not just what happens internally in our organization. It's that same culture that we extend out to our customers. We treat them like family too. We want them to feel a part of this, because our success really depends on their success. And our whole motto is, how can we help you be more successful?
And that is such, and again, that's such a brilliant way of thinking. And that's why we talk about the technology of SimpleNexus, which is absolutely out of bounds, out of this world, is amazing. But the innovative thinking that is, and like you're sharing, of culture, that's something else where SimpleNexus really separates themselves from a lot of the industry. Is there is such that feeling and that mindset of collaboration and helping one another, because everybody on the team knows, like you said, from Matt and Ben down to the whoever on the team, it's all the same mindset. It's of the same thinking, the same vision, and it's just everybody's aligned, which you just don't see that in every organization. Especially, I mean, you've been with many companies over the years, and I'm sure you've been with some great companies, but I'm sure not all of them have been aligned. And I'm sure you've seen some things that you're like, well, I'm glad to be at a company like SimpleNexus.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to a group of people that I first started with in technology, and that's Interlink Software out of Bellevue, Washington, who eventually became Harland and then became D&H and so forth. But, same company, same mindset. SimpleNexus reminds me a lot of their footprint that they had established, and innovative. I love it that Matt and Ben and the guys are always thinking of what's that next step to put us at the forefront to help loan officers and lenders, actually strive to hit their goals, to be successful.
And I think that is, again, such a critical part as a company continues to grow, continues to flourish, having those goals, having that mindset, all
Yeah.
again, it's encapsulated. It's what people live and breathe at Simple Nexus, and that's what's really exciting to me. Which is why some of the things that you guys are doing, like I mentioned, the technology. Recently we talked about eclose, which is something we want to talk about as well. Because again, going back to this, going from where you started to now, that you can basically close an entire transaction on your phone. That's insane. And the eclose process, Simple Nexus continues to push the envelope with.
Oh my gosh. And the cool part of it is, we talk about, the hybrid eclose. To me, I think eclose is going to be one of those things that we too are going to look on this later on and go, oh, that was just a blip. That was something we had to resolve. This pandemic thing happened. It really forced all of us to look at this. We jumped on it. And then in a year from now, we're all going to be looking at it going, yeah, we conquered that. We're going to do something different. But right now, eclose is really a very vital lifeline for everybody. I mean, we're all doing the social distancing and practicing all the safe regards for our fellow man, and being able to do all of that from your mobile device. You can still use your software, but you can still draw documents the way that you've always drawn documents. You still have that same flow. There's no retraining. The only thing you're looking at now is everybody, you're going to pick up a phone now to sign your documents. This is amazing. It's great.
I have to ask, like, did you ever imagine, with all the time and being in technology, being in it as long as you have, did you ever think or imagine that we would be able to do basically an entire mortgage transaction from a mobile device?
Oh God, no. I mean, it came to fruition, probably like in the last 5 years. It became one of those things that, oh, we kind of had that thought. And then as it's evolved, you're kind of like, well, why aren't we there yet? And now we're all like, why aren't we there yet?
Yep.
But back then, no. Did I ever imagine that a computer would be able to do my calculations automatically as I just input basic elements? No. And think about it this too. Back in the day, Fannie Mae came out with desktop underwriter. I remember underwriters in my field that were going, Fannie Mae's trying to get rid of my job. No, it's a tool, guys. It's going to make our lives easier. Same thing with Simple Nexus and e-closing. It's a tool. It's going to make lives easier.
And that point right there, Pam, I wish more people were having that discussion, because there's a lot of technology, and Simple Nexus, again, I've talked about it before, is kind of leading the forefront. They're pushing the envelope. They're continuing to do innovative things. And there are some people with the mindset, again, that fixed mindset of like, well, technology and these companies are out to replace us. They're out to take our jobs. But that is absolutely not the case. It's a tool to help you be more efficient and to be better at what you do every single day. I never believe, and I would love your thoughts on this. I personally never believe that the mortgage professional can't be replaced, because again, a mortgage transaction is a very personal experience. You have to you hear about companies going all, and again, digital, you guys are doing a lot of digital, but it still takes that human touch, that relationship, that guidance through the process. What are your thoughts?
Well, while some people, they do like the fact that they can begin the process and not have that human interaction. I can run my own payment if I want to. But when you get down to it, there's always going to be questions. And everybody's always going to want someone to hold their hand, to guide them, to explain to them. And that's where your mortgage professionals are going to come in and help facilitate that. Maybe you've got people who are refinancing and they're like, yeah, I've done this 3 times. I don't need as much help. Great. But with Simple Nexus, what we look at is everything that we're building, given where you are, you have that relationship there. You have the tool to help you expand on that relationship.
100%. And this is, I mean, you couldn't have said anything better, because honestly, we all want an automated experience. We want something. And sometimes we say we want that pure mobile, like, no, I just want to do it real quick. But it's when we run into a challenge or an obstacle that we expect someone that we can pick up the phone and actually talk to somebody. I mean, imagine last time you had to call your internet service provider or call, your cable provider, and you got an automated and you're like, no, I want to talk to somebody now. Like,
Ow.
it's the same thing in mortgage. Like, you're doing one of the biggest transactions of your entire life. If something comes up, you want to be able to talk to somebody. You want to have a human interaction. Even though people joke because they're like, oh, these millennials, which I'm of the millennial generation, they're like, no, they don't want to talk to people. Yes, I do. I want to talk to somebody. If I'm spending, $500,000 on a home, I want to know, like, what's going on? So Pam, I love how you say that. And it is here to help. It's here to be a solution, which that's what Simple Nexus, for the partners that are collaborating, that are integrating, it's something that is absolutely helping them.
It really is. And, and thinking about, being that loan officer out and about, and you're working with, even referral partners, real estate agents, having, updates go out, maybe you want them to be automatically notified to save you that phone call, save you that email. But, we have that chat feature as well, too. So it's instantaneous. Everybody can communicate. So really and truly, millennials, it may be said millennials want to do everything just on a computer. Everybody still wants to know that, they're taken care of, that they matter, and have that human relationship.
They do. Like, people are always, human beings, our basic human nature is we want to have that interaction. We want to be able to talk to somebody, even if you're an extrovert, like introvert, I messed that up. Introvert. Even if you don't want to talk to people, like, deep down inside, you do. Like, you have to have that human connection. Like, it's just there. And again, the partnerships and the collaborations and the integrations. Let me ask you this, because this is really interesting. Back when you started, even over as you've been through the industry for so many years, have integrations been as important as they are today?
No. I mean, they were becoming important. And I can remember, you had Fannie, you had Freddie, you had credit, getting those things. And all of a sudden you had instantaneous results. Well, now you look at other partners that are out there. You look at CRMs, you look at appraisals, you look at flood, you look at fraud. So having integrations where you can get that instantaneous result rather than waiting days or hours, this is critical. You get information that's vital to the completion of that loan file. You're not blindsided in the process. So integrations are becoming stronger and stronger, and people are coming up with newer ways to integrate even further out than what we first initially thought of.
And that's what's exciting, is because, again, Simple Nexus is at the center of it. You look at your partners who you've integrated with, and the LOs from the largest of companies that you guys work with down to the LO that is taking the applications every single day. You guys are truly making that process and the entire mortgage process simpler, more efficient. And that's what consumers want too. Like, they absolutely want that. They don't want again, we talked about this, they want the automation, but they still want that all in one package. And that's what Simple Nexus has done. They brought the technology, they brought the human interaction. And like you said, even the chat function, you bring all parties together to be able to collaborate. My gosh, Pam, it is such exciting times for you, for the entire Simple Nexus team. And it's so much fun because, you just look at the smile on your face, the passion and enthusiasm. And this is exactly the type of people that are just at Simple Nexus through and through. So I want to thank you so very much today for sharing a little bit about hybrid eclose, the evolution of mortgage, because it is people, it's the veterans like yourself who have been in this industry and have seen the changes and then now are leading the way. That just, it makes me smile and it makes me excited for our future.
Well, thanks for having me, Josh. This has been fun. And thanks for asking all the questions about the house.
Oh my gosh. I am literally, like, you have no idea. I could talk about your house and your land and just everything we were talking about prior to. You and I could go on for hours just about that. So, but we won't bore everybody else. You and I will have a conversation because it is absolutely just incredible to me. So huge thanks to you and to the entire Simple Nexus team for all you're doing for the industry.
Thanks, Josh.
You are amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, guys, if you joined us live, make sure you comment #shred. And if you're joining us on the replay, make sure you comment #hustle because you're out there hustling. And also drop the hashtag Simple Nexus. You guys can see the hat. I've been told this is like a one-of-a-kind hat. I don't know how I got it from Simple Nexus, but I'm honored to have it. So they also have some great some swag as well. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Huge thanks to Pam, the entire team. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. And now it's time for you to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See you guys. Thanks, Pam.
Thanks.